Today, I would love to talk about midlife investing. I'm a South African woman, 52 years old. I have never invested in the stock exchange before. So I kind of thought I'd missed the boat a bit with investments. Okay, I do have an RA, a retirement annuity, which will come out when I'm 55. So I've been kind of looking forward to that money. It has been growing for quite a while. But recently, I met an amazing woman. Viki calls herself the Money Goddess's mentor, and she has a Money Goddess group called Money Goddesses. Viki wrote a book named Unleash Your Inner Money Goddess. And that's how I first got to know her. I read her book and then I interviewed her on my other channel. In fact, two of my other YouTube channels. Her book is just amazing. The book is mostly about your money goddess archetype. But then I went on and did her Money Goddesses Grow System, which was a program that she ran over the last 3 months, I think it's been. You first learn about your money archetypes, you learn about sacred investing, you learn about the cash flow quadrant, you learn about all kinds of amazing things that get you more and more empowered. And then the pinnacle of it, the final thing that you do in this program is that you learn how to invest, not through a broker, not through a firm, but yourself learning how to invest into something called ETFs, an exchange traded fund. That's what an ETF stands for, exchange traded fund. Now, I had never heard of ETFs before, so this was really exciting for me because I had never invested in the New York Stock Exchange before, or in the JSE, which is the South African version. So it was really exciting for me to invest for the first time in my first ETFs. She told me this brilliant story about Warren Buffett. I hope I'm going to do it justice. So what happened is Warren Buffett put out this bet to the top hedge fund managers in the world. And this wager was proposed by Warren Buffett in 2007, 2008. And what he said was that over the next 10 years, if he put $1 million into a low cost S&P 500, which is an index fund, it would outperform the portfolio of hedge funds. As far as I know, he put this out to the top hedge fund managers in America, and the only person who accepted the bet was that Protégé Partners, and he chose 5 funds of hedge funds to represent the active side of the bet. So the low cost S&P 500 index fund is the passively managed fund, and this hedge fund manager was running an actively managed fund. Right. Buffett used the Vanguard S&P 500 index fund. So this is what happened. The bet ran from the 1st of January 2008 to December 31st, 2017. And over the 10 years, the S&P 500 index fund returned about 7.1% per year, and the hedge fund portfolio chosen by Protégé returned about 2.2% per year after fees. So Buffett won the bet by a sizable margin. The comparison was after all fees and expenses. Hedge funds tend to have high management fees and performance fees, and these can eat into return significantly. The bet included volatility. 2008 was a terrible year in the market. Early on, the hedge funds outperformed somewhat because during the crash, some hedge funds helped reduce the losses. But after the full 10-year period, the index fund came out way ahead, way ahead. So the proceeds of the bet, which was about $1 million US, went to a charity, the Girls Inc. of Omaha. It's a really interesting story, and it is what inspired me to invest in my first ETF. So my first S&P 500s, and I did my very first trades today. I've gone 30% into the S&P 500 that is specifically on infotech, and 70% onto the normal S&P 500. And then I also got given, as I joined the platform that I'm working on, which is called Easy Equities South Africa, because I went through a referral link. When I joined that platform, I also got 50 Rand, and I invested that 50 Rand into the JSE. So the top 40 companies on the JSE. On this platform that I chose is the Equities. You can buy fractional shares, which is really great. And I'm really excited. I have never invested in the stock exchange before in any way, shape, or form. And Viki not just encouraged me and motivated me, inspired me to do this first investment, but she was like by my side, helping me choose my investments as well. In doing all of this, I feel that I had an identity shift, that this has created an identity shift for me. It's part of my midlife reinvention. For sure. I'm reinventing myself now as an investor. I became an investor at the age of 52. It's not to say that I haven't had investments before. I've got unit trusts through a beautiful company called Viewpoint. But the difference is that I'm doing this investment myself. That is a massive, massive difference. So it's one thing to invest in unit trusts, but remember the fees are higher and somebody else is managing those for you. Whereas this is you managing it themselves. You press that button, you decide which shares you're going to go for, you decide how aggressive you want it to be or how safe you want the investment to be. It can grow at a steady pace, slowly over years. One really, really big tip that Viki gave me is that one of the most important things you can do when you are investing is nothing. So as in you make your investment and you leave it there. You do not keep pulling out from your investments. I think that's a lot of the reason why people will rather choose an RA or a unit trust, because you're putting money away and it's kind of fixed. You've got your debit order going, it goes into that account, and then it's kind of set it and forget it. Whereas this way, you're looking at your funds more frequently. I'm suddenly seeing possibilities that I didn't see before. I'm thinking differently. For example, I've made a decision to double down on growing my coaching business because every client I serve funds my investments. It's going to be so exciting to see my amount growing. So every time I enroll somebody into my program, I'm going to take 20% of what I get after the fees I pay. I'm going to take 20% of the net amount after I have enrolled someone in the program, and I'm going to put that into my investment. I'm so excited to see how that grows. I've also learned about TFSA accounts, which I never knew before. So the TFSA is a tax-free savings account. So the way it works in South Africa is that you can put 36,000 Rand a year into a tax-free savings account. And the most you can put in is 500,000 Rand into this tax-free savings account that you create. And if you're maxing out your TFSA every year, it'll take you 13.888888 years. I'm focused on investing on behalf of my son because he turns 12 in a couple of weeks. And then by the time he's 18, he will have a nice sizable amount invested if we choose the right ETF to invest in. And I'm going to actually train him and let him choose his ETF. I'll just show him a few side-by-side examples so that he can decide what he wants to invest in. So it's going to be a really good learning curve for him as well. We already chatted about it this morning and had so much fun. So I'm going to allow him to decide at the age of 12 what he would like to invest in. And then at the age of 13, we'll look at it again. At the age of 14, we'll look at it again and see if he's happy with what he chose to invest in. And I think it's going to be a really nice little journey that we do as mother and son as well. So here I am. I have turned into an investor. This is a major identity shift. It has helped me really set some major targets in my business, because now I would like to bring in more money into my coaching business so that I can put away 20% of that into my investment business. Super, super excited about where this will take me. And I would love you to come along for the ride. Viki and I have set up a Midlife Money Breakthrough chat that is going to happen next Tuesday at 10 a.m. South African Standard Time. We might do this live here on YouTube, but it's happening on Zoom in our Reinventors Playground. So if you want to join the Reinventors Playground and be part of that Zoom call and ask Viki your questions, she will set you straight. It's so nice to be doing this, not on my own, but with someone like Viki who has been investing for years and has learned so much along the way. She really helped me go through this, not only with the program, but she was there for me when I was busy deciding how to invest, what is the right platform to use. Viki and I will be discussing all things investing in midlife, because yes, I know it's true that the earlier you start investing, the more you're going to have. As Viki says, the best time to start investing was 10, 20 years ago. If you're in your 50s, the next best time was yesterday. And of course, the next best time is today, like I just did. And I'm super duper excited. I must just tell you, the part I forgot to mention is how empowered it makes you feel when you invest on your own. I didn't feel the sense of empowerment when I handed over money or when my debit order goes off every month. I don't feel that sense of empowerment as what I felt now investing myself. And Viki said to me this was going to happen. She told us when she started the program that we were going to feel amazing when we started doing our own investments. I just didn't realize how amazing I would feel. Honestly, I feel like a different person. It feels like a complete transformation between what I was a few days ago before I made the decision that I'm going to invest, and then choosing the right platform, picking the right stocks, shifting money across from my account into the platform, and then actually making the trade. I feel like $1,000,000 and I can't wait to actually make $1,000,000. And yeah, I would love to see you getting some wins as well. From what I've seen, you cannot go wrong. You cannot lose money unless you put money in and then try and take it out immediately. You want to leave it in there. This is about investing in money that you're going to leave for a long time, 10 years or more, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years if you can. The longer you leave it there and keep investing, the more it's going to grow and the more money will work for you. It's not too late to have a wealthy retirement. See you in the Reinventors Playground for our next video. Okay, let us